Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me say a pleasant good evening to all my friends and relatives of the Granford constituency. In fact, when I was asked to speak at this launching of the LYO from Granford, I had a similar function in Carnival Portsmouth opening today. And I thought I could not disappoint the people of Granford, and I had to sacrifice Portsmouth Carnival for being here in Granford with you this afternoon. I was there with you when we created history last election, because you may recall that the United Workers' Party ran this constituency for 19 years before we could move them with Honourable Ivor Stephenson. And this launching today is a clear manifestation of the work that Ivor Stephenson and the Dominica Labour Party has done in Granford, that you decide to show yourself in such large numbers and in such transparency. And I can say to you that your work have just started, because you have to ensure that you continue to defend and guard the work that the Dominica Labour Party has made over the last couple of years in Dominica and the last 3.5 years inside of Granford. And I want to say to you that I know Ivor Stephenson better than many of you, because he's been working in my ministry for the last 3.5 years. And while he may have a very quiet disposition, Ivor Stephenson is a tower of strength and representation. And so you here in Granford have no choice but to bring back Ivor Stephenson whenever the next election is called in Dominica. And what choice do you have but to bring back Ivor Stephenson? I understand that there's a fellow called Thompson Fontaine who stayed out of this constituency, out of this country, making his big money in America, work with the big IMF, never making one contribution to the constituency, whether it's in Morne Jaune, in Riviere Cyrique, or in Granford. Tell me one thing that Thompson Fontaine has contributed to this community after having made all his money in the United States. And now that he lost his job, now that he was fired, he coming to ask you to give him a job here in Granford. Not only to represent you, but to make him Minister of Finance. Mon Dieu. You must be listening. You must be listening to the controversy over the last couple of weeks about an organization called the DAS, of which Thompson Fontaine is or was the treasurer of DAS, where Thompson Fontaine removed money from the DAS account to put into his own personal account to pay interest, ladies and gentlemen. And when they asked Thompson Fontaine over 300 times to bring back the money, he bring it back piece by piece. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot trust men in little things, how are you going to trust them in big things? If you cannot trust a man with 50,000 US, how are you going to trust him with the millions that come to the treasury of this country, ladies and gentlemen? And who asked Thompson Fontaine to represent the people of Granford? Who asked Thompson Fontaine to come back to be Parl Rep? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a process by which you become Parl Rep in the Dominica Labour Party. You have to be asked by the people. The people have to endorse you. You have to go to a meeting and you have to emerge. You cannot just come out of America, jump from a plane after they fire you and decide you is the Parl Rep. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And Thompson Fontaine must be told that he cannot impose himself on the people of Granford or Riviere Cyrique or Morne Jaune. And there it is, Dr. Thompson. What is that? What doctor? There is no room for that in Dominican Park. Don't forget, in 1990, Romanos Barnes beat 2 doctors. 2 of them, not one. He beat Bernard Wilshire. No. Dr. John Finn and he beat Dr. Magdalene, the dentist from Saint-Sauvé. So it shows you that politics is much bigger than just being a doctor. Politics is about being with the people, having a love for the people. And Thompson Fontaine must demonstrate the love he has for the people of Dominica and the people of Grand Fond. When you go to America and you're speaking to the international press, and you said that you went all across the country, and all the people of Dominica, the young people, are asking you for is guns to shoot Haitians and to shoot Chinese. That is what Thompson Fontaine said, that you, the young people of Grand Fond, want from him. And I know that is not true. I know that is not correct. And he must apologize to the people of Grand Fond, the young people of this constituency, for this rude and reckless statement. And how comes you can say you love people when you decide that all the people here from Grand Fond who has received housing assistance are greedy people? Ladies and gentlemen, the housing situation in Grand Fond is terrible. It's bad, and we know that. And that is why this government has put systems in place to assist persons in renovating their homes. The elderly, the single mothers, the incapacitated, the mentally challenged. And the United Workers' Party promise that when they get, if they get into government, they will stop the housing program, because it's only greedy people that benefiting from the housing program. Thompson Fontaine and the United Workers' Party have called you, the people of Grand Fond, greedy people, ladies and gentlemen, and he must be made to apologize for that statement to the people of Grand Fond. And not only that, the Yes We Care program, a program that was put together by the Prime Minister and the Labour Party to ensure that our senior citizens receive some level of assistance in their old age, in their twilight years, where we give them a meal, we bathe them, we have people caring for them, we comb their hair, we make their bed, ladies and gentlemen. And Thompson Fontaine and the United Workers' Party call these senior citizens greedy people. Ladies and gentlemen, they must not escape with that, and we have to teach them a lesson at the appropriate time. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to reverse the gains that we have made from 2000 when we came into government. We all knew how this country was, the financial situation at the time, and the great sacrifices that you had to make to take us to where we are. You know the struggles of our Prime Minister, had to be on a plane to China, to Venezuela, to Morocco, to Azerbaijan, all over the world, trying to bring some funds in this country to assist this country to move forward. And there you have a bunch of lazy, unemployed bandits, uneducated too, wanting to take away all the gains that we have made. Tanti, what will happen to you when Lennox Linton and Thompson Fontaine stop bringing those millions in this country? Well, he promised the people of Grand Fond that he will make a goat factory for you to make goat milk. The first promise Thompson Fontaine made to you, the people of Grand Fond, is that he will send you to rear goats on the hillside, and he will make a goat milk factory so he can sell milk to Guadeloupe and Martinique. That is the plan Thompson Fontaine have for you, the people of Grand Fond. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you that the same Thompson Fontaine and the Lennox Linton that criticized Venezuela, that criticized Alba, that criticized Petro-Carib, today they tell you when they win, they will go to Venezuela for money. Where they passing to Venezuela for which money? And after all the problems they give the Chinese, they curse everybody, they say they'll go back to China. Messieurs, mesdames, Jacques Enfant, moi ka di ou, United Workers Party, c'est moun ki ni bouche avec lumière. Depuis ou vwe yon homme attaque enfants bon Dieu, ou ni bouche, messieurs, mesdames. When you promise to take out the anointment from Peter Augustine anointing, you have a serious problem. When you curse the bishop, and you curse the church, and you curse the Catholics, you have a serious problem. But that is not a surprise. Because don't forget, the leader of the United Workers' Party, Lennox Linton, finished school in 4th form. But he graduated from 3rd form. He graduated from 3rd form, he went to 4th form, and then they throw him out of school. They expel him. Why they expel him? Because he was fighting plenty in school. And he hit a student a liquor bottle in his head. He is of a violent nature, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, it was a stool, a liquor stool. You and 2 little boys have a problem, you fighting, you punch me, punch you, you wrestle. But how you end up in 3rd form, in 4th form, and hitting a man. Now I heard the man die. Yes, the fella died the other day. Lennox Linton. Ever grosse Lennox Linton. Ever Lennox Linton bow Uncle Chej and tattoo. Is that Jerry Dewa? May pass a Jerry and dinner. So the man had to die. Because of a liquor stool Lennox Linton gave him in school. Is that what we want for our country, ladies and gentlemen? How is Lennox Linton, as Prime Minister of Dominica, going to sit down around a table with Kenny Anthony and Dr. Denzel Douglas and Dr. Portia Simpson Miller from Jamaica and Dr. Kamala Prasad Besesa from Trinidad? A man that graduated from 3rd form in high school. What kind of representation that we're going to get as a country? We're going to be the laughing stock of the world, really. And so you, the people of Grandfont, you have to join in that crusade to ensure that the United Workers' Party does not get close to the corridor of power in this country ever and ever again. We have to send a clear message to Thompson Fontaine that we didn't invite you to Grandfont. You have no right in Grandfont. Thompson Fontaine must come here, use all his money from the IMF, and do like the government and create employment for young people in this country. We all know that we have an unemployment situation in the world, in Dominica, but we didn't just sit down and say that is how it is. We put systems in place to ensure that our young people could get jobs and could be employed. And today I can say to you that over 320 persons have been employed from December in the government service and in the private sector. And the government is paying the salaries and wages for these people, thanks to the efforts of Honourable Roosevelt Skerrit, who would go to Venezuela and raise the money for that particular purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come from a very, very long way, but we still have a long road to travel. It doesn't stop here. And the only party that can take us to where we want to get is the Dominica Labour Party and Roosevelt Skerrit. And you can recall that Roosevelt Skerrit came into this thing as a virtual unknown. And everybody thought that with a 30-year-old man, it would never happen. And there'll be how many by-elections? Well, today, Roosevelt Skerrit stands as the most dynamic and the most progressive leader that this country has ever seen. And the only thing we can give Roosevelt Skerrit, the only thing we can give him is some more time to continue the work that he has started. This is not about us. This is about the future of Dominica. This is about our children. And the other speakers before me outlined to you the contributions that this government has made to the small rural communities like Grandfont in terms of education, in terms of health. And it has to continue, ladies and gentlemen. To put Thompson Fontaine in the government is to reverse all the gains that we have made over the 15 years and to go backwards. But you, the people of Grandfont, you have had a taste of both. You had 19 years of UWP. You had 3.5 years of Labour Party. Compare it and tell me which one has given you the most satisfaction, the most development, and the most benefit. 3.5 years versus 19 years. And so, the people of Grandfont, The LYO from Grand Forks launching today. I put you in charge of the Southeast. You have to go to Castlebrooks with your message. You have to go to La Plaine with your message. You have to go to the Carib Territory with your message. You have to go around the country because you understand what true development means. You understand where you were and where you are today. And so that message you, the people of Grand Forks, must spread. And I want to say to you that I will be here with you in Grand Forks to help you in spreading that message. I was there with you last election, and I promise to be with you this election. What you must tell me is where to stay. Either I stay in Castlebrooks or I stay in Grand Forks. Because I have family in both Castlebrooks and Grand Forks. But you will decide what house I rent and how I get up and sleep with you to ensure that Ivor Stephenson is retained as the next parliamentary representative of the Grand Forks constituency. Young people, you have always been a pillar of strength for the Dominica Labour Party. You have always carried the charge for the Dominica Labour Party. You have always ensured that the Dominica Labour Party win the election. This time is no different. It's just that we're going to get more serious and we have to fight, ladies and gentlemen. And don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated by the talk shows. You get up on Sunday morning, it's talk show on cue. You go and sleep Sunday night, it's talk show. Monday talk show, Tuesday talk show. If it's not Arundel, it's Angelo. If it's not Angelo, it's Blessing. If it's not Blessing, it's who again? But you have your own talk show. You have your talk show. You have the hang on Kyrie. Listen to Kyrie. Stop listening to Q95. They will only confuse you. You have the next level program on Tuesday and Saturday. That is the program you must listen to and you must call. You have the program on Thursday. So we have more programs than them. It's just that they have more people talking than us. It's the same 12 people every day, ladies and gentlemen, saying the same thing, spreading hate in this country. We in the Dominica Labour Party, we're talking about progress, love, and development. And so I will say to you one more time that you have a job to do as the LYO. It cannot be Ivor Stephenson alone. It cannot be Roosevelt Scarrett alone. It can't be Reginald Austrie alone. It has to be all of us as Labour rights. And we have to let our multitude, we have to grow that base support. So we will go to the United Workers' Party people, we'll go to the Freedom Party people, and we'll invite them on this Labour train. Because if they don't join the train, they will be left behind. Because we're not going back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going forward. Forward ever! Forward ever! Forward ever! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you, and I will be back. Thank you.